You know what I've observed over the summer, Nicole,
What's
with
that?
agents?
Yeah.
I think they have their head in the sand of what's about to hit them at the end of quarter three and quarter four. This is Byron, Lazine, and Nicole White, and you are tuned into episode 284 of The Real Word.
Word is up.
And
You
you're back.
were animated there a little. I liked
Yeah,
it. You
I'm
felt.
ready to go. I had a hot sheet this morning.
I'm
That's
happy
why.
you sort of said your name a little differently.
Yeah, I was feeling good on the hot sheet today. I'm feeling good that you're back. We took a week off because you
My
were in the Cape.
apologies.
And good week to come back because we have exclusive data from BAM. We partnered with 1000 Watt and we surveyed over 1,000 agents, Nicole, both team agents and solo agents. We break it all down and break it all apart for you. And there's a lot of interesting discoveries in this survey that we did, the agent sentiment report that we're going to do, I think, quarterly with 1000 Watt. We love 1000 Watt. We love Mark and Brian over there. And we were really actually, we're really honored that they reached out to us and said, hey, let's go do something unique in the industry that's not being done before. And so a couple of things that really stood out to me, Nicole.
Yep.
Number one is how optimistic real estate agents are. They're very optimistic in the future, the next 6 months.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I want to dig into that. And then they're also real confident in lead conversion. In fact, 83% of agents are confident in their lead conversion, yet 46% are unsatisfied with their provider. So kind of a little bit, opposite there.
Right.
Who was surveyed? Okay, so 53.48% were solo agents, and 17.45% were agents on a team, and then you had 29.08% were team leaders. So good mix there between team leaders, team agents. Team leaders and team agents make up about 50% of the report, and solo agents make up about 50%. Okay. Age breakdown, only 2% were 18 to 25. That's like we did that study on how many younger agents got out of the business recently.
I gotta ask though, the breakup of ages were so random. Like you ended at 42 and then started at 43. Was there a rhyme or reason to that?
26 to 42, 30%. 43 to 61, 46%, 62 to 77, 20%. I don't know. What do you, I mean, did you want to go 26 to 27, 26 to 30?
No,
What'd you want
I
there?
don't know, like 20 to 30, 30 to 40. I don't know, round numbers. 42. It's like, well, it's like
no,
my birthday's
18
tomorrow,
18 to 25. And maybe it's broken down on, maybe this is more in line with, demographic, like millennial. What is it? Is that called?
Yes. Okay. Makes sense.
I think that's probably closer to
You're probably
that.
pretty accurate there.
Okay, production level over the past 12 months, 36% were 1 to 12 transactions, 33% were 13 to 25, 18% had 26 to 50 transactions, and then 12% had 50 plus transactions. 12 plus years was 50%. 12 plus years in the business was 50%. And then men and women just about 50-50. So pretty good sampling here,
for sure,
Nicole. Let's go through some of the optimism first, and then we'll get into the lead discussion. By the way, the entire agent sentiment survey that you can find the whole thing, download it on BAMX, use code REALWORD to become a member of BAMX. But we're just going to highlight some of these.
Yeah, it's a 20-page report. It's pretty juicy.
It's very juicy.
Yeah.
And I mean, certainly if you're a team leader and you want to get into the mindset, or a broker leader and you want to get to the mindset of what agents are thinking about right now, you definitely want to download this. So on a scale of 1 to 10, how do you view the future of your real estate business over the next 6 months? So 8.77% were a 10, extremely optimistic. 6 and above. So basically the most ratings were between 6 and 8. I mean, 6 was 18.5%, 7 was 19.2%, 8 was 19.2%, 9 was 10+%, and then 10 was 8.77%.
Mm-hmm.
So, 5 and under, not a lot. 12% for 5, 7% for 4, only 3% were a 3, 1% were a 2, and less than 1% were a 1, which is extremely pessimistic. Nicole, scale of 1 to 10. why don't you answer it? Everybody else can do it in the comments. But scale of 1 to 10, how do you view the next 6 months of your real estate business from the optimistic scale to the pessimistic
I
scale?
should have actually written my answers down because I did take this test. I probably was on a 9 or a 10 side. I mean, you always have to be optimistic with the business in the 6 months.
You're a 9 or a 10.
For sure,
Wow.
absolutely. I mean, if you're at a 1, I'm not so certain that you're gonna be motivated to network. You're not gonna be motivated to do any of that follow-up. You're not gonna be motivated to wanna get new business. So, I think especially in this business, you have to stay optimistic about your business, or else that's sort of like the beginning of sort of the crash.
I think of it uniquely in a different way. I think
Really?
if you're, yeah, I mean, um, I guess it's your real estate
Yeah,
business, but
your business, your
yeah,
business.
I guess the way where my mind
Well,
goes,
because
and
you're
that,
being asked as a leader, probably,
yeah, yeah, true. Definitely, I'm taking it from the team leader perspective, but
right?
also where my mind goes when I hear that question, and this is part of it, like too with surveys, it's like, okay, what state of mind are you in? I'm starting to think about the market, and the market's going to get tighter in quarter four, in my opinion. I
Of
mean,
course.
we're seeing an interest rate that's going up
Up.
day after day, not down. I think we're going to see a real tightening in the market come the end of this year, and so you know, extremely confident. I couldn't put myself there. I couldn't put myself at a 10. Now, I think the lower I am on the scale, the actual more motivating it is, though,
Okay.
to really get out and get after it. If I'm on the lower half, you said if you're on the lower half, you're not going to be motivated. I'm the opposite. I guess I'm going to be
Yeah.
more motivated, being less optimistic, because if I'm super optimistic, if it's 2020, first 6 months of 2021, it's like, okay, I'm very
Of
optimistic. Like
course.
things are going to fall into place. I can kind of go into autopilot. If I'm less optimistic, and I would say I'm probably,
Naturally
you know,
unoptimistic?
yeah, but on,
Yeah.
on this scale, I'm probably a 6 or a 7,
Okay. So that's still
okay.
good.
But to me, that's giving me that motivation to really make a difference over the next 6 months. Okay.
Right.
So that was all respondents. Solo agents were very, uh, I'm sorry, team leads, surprisingly, were very confident as well. Team leads were like 11% on a 10. Okay, I mean, I don't know. I think team leads have it a little bit harder with some of the expensive, maybe the ones that have been cutting expenses down are in that camp. But team leads very, very optimistic, as well as all respondents.
Well, again, maybe the question needs to be a little bit more specific because it sounds like you and I are maybe taking the question a little bit differently, though, too. Because again, especially as a team lead, if you're not optimistic about your business over the next 6 months, does that mean you're shutting your doors down? Or like, again, I feel like the question can
Not
be
Well, not many people are shutting their doors down.
right, but
Eighty-two
you're
point
saying that
seven
you would rather
percent.
see people be a little bit more pessimistic. But again, a
Uh,
6 in my mind is not pessimistic at all.
I just
You're still on the good side.
Yeah, I just think they don't see what's coming. 82.75% are highly likely to stay in business over the next 12 months. So barely anybody
Is
who
getting
took the
out.
survey is getting out over the next 12 months. I mean, it was 0.76% was a 2, where they
Yeah.
were, leaning towards, likely of getting out. So really everybody staying
Everyone's
in.
staying.
You know what I've observed over the summer, Nicole,
What's
with
that?
agents?
Yeah.
I think they have their head in the sand of what's about to hit them at the end of quarter three and quarter four. A lot of agents taking a lot of time off this summer, really enjoying themselves, soaking it up with the White Claws and the Nooners. And and I think they're going to get smacked in the face harder this quarter four than they did last quarter four. Let me know in the comments if you disagree with me completely, but there will be less transactions. There's going to be less people that are qualifying for these homes. We're going to be sitting at a higher interest rate for longer. I talk about that on the hot sheet. I'm not trying to be super pessimistic,
You're just
but
being realistic.
I'm being realistic on the
Right.
realities. And you see some agents out there making like 10 phone calls in a week, relying solely on social media and crappy mail that says, "Are you thinking of buying and selling?" I promise you, if you're putting out a piece of mail that says thinking about buying and selling, you're going to have little to no business off of that campaign in quarter four, because it's such a weak hook. It's a pathetic ask. People put that in the trash more times than not. All right. So how are you going to convert leads? Right now, agents are very confident in their ability. In fact, most agents are confident in their ability to convert leads. 83% are confident in that ability. Okay, Nicole. So out of respondents who took the survey, 90% rated their confidence in converting leads above a 5 on a scale from 1 to 10. That would be all respondents. Solo agents were very high. 21+% were extremely confident. 18% were a 9. 24% were an 8. So solo agents very confident on converting leads. Solo agents were closer to the overall sentiment. Agents on a team were least likely to rate their lead conversion confidence a 10, while team leaders were most likely to do so. Interesting.
Yep.
What are your thoughts on that? Agents
Well,
on a team were at a 14% for 10, extremely confident in lead conversion, where team leaders were a 31.8. Do
yeah.
team leaders and team agents see lead conversion differently from each other? Listen, the solo agents are more confident than the team agents, and we know team agents have way more leads than solo agents. So what do you take
Well,
from
but in
that?
the article, though, it's saying that solo agents aren't getting as many leads given to them, too. So the solo agents, it sounds like, are much more confident probably in their interpersonal sort of relationships within their sphere. Where,
So,
again, if
so
you're on a
are
team, you're getting more leads given to you that are maybe a little bit more sort of cold nurture,
Are
you know.
team agents focusing too much on the L's in their database
Oh,
and not
absolutely,
focusing on the
absolutely.
W's
Or
that
they're
are
just
out
looking
there?
at like, or they're letting the bad leads sort of outweigh the good leads. But again, I feel like we've been saying this for at least 18 months. It's about building a career, not a year. So I think everyone is so nearsighted right now that they have again, they have a really hard time probably figuring out exactly where each of these buyers are in sort of in their travels when it comes to, transacting. So instead of sort of really honing in on if that buyer is looking to buy now or in 18 months, if they're not looking to buy now, they just sort of trash them. I mean, how many leads do we have right now in our team pond? Like tens of thousands. So it's like
Tens and tens and tens of
any
thousands.
of those at any time, some of those are probably a year out, 2 years out, 3 years out. And instead of cultivating them, everyone's trashing them and thinking that they're a really bad lead.
The
So
the problem
yeah,
agents have, if they're not 30 or 60 days out, they
they're not
consider
interested.
them, not a good lead.
Yeah,
It's really short-sighted. It's not doing what you signed up to do, which is serve your community
right,
and help people on the journey and the path.
right.
As AI becomes more involved, the agents that are showing up to listing appointments, personally in physical stature, the ones that are guiding somebody through a 2-year process, who knows what's going to happen to buyer agency, but the ones that are willing to stick it out, they're always going to have a place in this industry. So Zillow being very popular, Nicole, amongst buyers, of course, and home shoppers.
Right.
2 out of 3 home shoppers use Zillow over any other platform. Yet only 34.2% of respondents named it their primary lead source. A full 43% chose other platforms, which included Google or Google PPC, Boomtown, Redfin, Market Leader, Yelp. Yelp surprised me. Okay, that,
Mm-hmm.
that, that one was interesting. Dave Ramsey, company generated leads, other realtors, or agent to agent referrals, and then OpCity, which would be, opcityrealtor.com
Right.
basically. Okay. So that was interesting that Zillow wasn't a little bit higher. Zillow to me is the strongest lead that you can get right now outside of your sphere referral and agent to agent referral in these types of things. I'm just talking online leads when I say that.
Yeah.
Um, all right. So there
Well,
you
let's
go.
get back though, because I feel like we didn't really answer the question about the team leaders being more
Okay. Yeah.
optimistic. Yeah, I mean, I think that you guys did a beautiful job on this article, sort of talking about that because essentially you want your team leader to be excited about the leads coming in or at least excited about the platforms that you are providing your agents. Obviously if you weren't excited, my hope would be that you would be bringing in other forms of leads to be coming in. So I'm not surprised, at least by the fact that the leaders are positive about it. I mean, in all honesty, though, too, I mean, the leaders also see how many leads are actually being generated through those platforms too. And when you start looking at those numbers, it's hard not to sometimes be optimistic about it. Because again, I mean, like I just said, I mean, we could even look at our team pond and seeing the tens of thousands of leads that have already come in the past.
Well,
So
I mean, they're
there's
extremely
opportunities.
confident. They're extremely confident in the ability to convert the leads, team leaders, and then agents on a team. Listen, mostly agents on a team are very confident as well. 30% plus on agents on a team put it at an
Huge.
8, 20% put it at a 9, 15% at a 10. Where team leaders were 32% at a 10, 25% at a 9, and 20% at an 8. Team leaders a little bit more confident, probably because they see, oh, well, we didn't convert it, but that person converted, meaning, well, we didn't have our name on the closing, but that person went and bought or sold. Anyway, these are very good leads. It does come down to, what are you asking? How are you engaging? Do you have commission breath or not? That is the difference between conversion. What type of value? How much are you listening to a prospect? Are you showing up fully prepared? This is a thing that's lacking across the industry right now. How do you show up to these appointments? Like, how professional in your preparation and what you're sending them for what they should expect from you? Or are you just jumping in the car, hitting showing time? You got the code, you open the door. There's a big difference between the professional and the non-professional, and the confidence and the ability to convert is going to go up. So there's an article going through the leads, the lead part of this sentiment survey on nowbam.com. Again, we partnered with 1000 Watt. You can get the entire thing on BAMX. Use the code REALWORD to sign up for BAMX, where you get not only, exclusive studies like this, but you get all of our live streams and our courses, our private Facebook group. Of course, you get access to like our parties like Bam Bash, which Nicole is going to miss this year, next week in Dallas. We got to figure out figure out what we're going to do next week.
We'll figure it out.
We will figure it out.
I have a few people asking me if I'm coming to BAM camp though.
So Bam Bash is next week. That's in Dallas. That's at the Tom Ferry Summit. If you haven't gotten your ticket to that yet, use code PRBAMSS. You definitely want to join us in Dallas, Tom Ferry Summit, the best conference of the year, in my opinion. It's the Super Bowl of all conferences. Of course, BAMX members also have a big conference coming up as well in September that you alluded to. It's BAM, not just BAMX members. Anybody can go, but BAMX members get 25% off of BAM Camp. So why wouldn't you do BAMX before you do BAM Camp? So Nicole, people are asking if you're going to be at BAM Camp.
People are asking.
Is that what you sent me a text?
I said, can I be a CIT? And you're like, is this for me? And I'm like, a CIT means a counselor in training.
Counselor in training. So we have our BAM Camp counselors. So you want to come and work the camp. You want to be a counselor.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe I need to be should I be in training? I could be in training.
You're welcome to come, Nicole. Of course, you open invite. You are more than welcome to come down to Naples, Florida. It's September 20th. Everybody's welcome to come. And BAM Camp, the price is actually, if you're seeing this pod on the day that it's released, I think the prices go up in the next 24 hours. Again, if you're a BAMX member, you get 25% off. So that'd be the way to do it. Maybe Nicole's going to be coming to BAM Camp now.
Maybe.
Love to have you, Nicole. September 20th. Come on down. Hopefully it won't be as hot as it is now. You don't like the heat.
No, I do like the heat.
Oh, you
I
do
like the heat. I don't like the cold.
It's freezing where I'm sitting right now in this AC. But all right, that's it. Keep it real, guys. We'll see you here. I'll be in Dallas next week. Hopefully you're joining me. Go to the Tom Ferry Summit, code PRBAMSS if you want to get a last-minute ticket. Nicole will be not in Dallas this year.
I won't be in Dallas, but maybe I will be in Naples.
You'll be in Naples.
If I get enough peer pressure, maybe I'll go.
We'll do this pod still, right? You're not
of
going
course.
to the Cape or anything?
I'm not going anywhere. I'm home.
Not going to the Jersey
It's football
Shore
season.
Next week? It is football season. High school football. All right, keep it real, guys. We'll see you next week.
See you guys.